Hey y'all! Have you ever walked through a farmer's market, picked out the freshest produce and thought, I wish I could grow this myself? Well, you absolutely can! Turning your own backyard into a mini farm is more attainable than you might think. We're going to walk through the steps together, from planning to planting and everything in between. Even if you think your backyard's too small or you don't have a green thumb, trust me, this is totally doable. We're gonna make your mini farm dreams a reality. Before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And tell me in the comments what you're most excited to grow or raise in your backyard. Just like any good project, we gotta start with a plan. Before you even grab a shovel, take a good look at your backyard. How much space do you have to work with? Is it mostly sunny or shady? What kind of soil are you working with? Once you have a feel for your space, think about your goals. Do you want a bountiful vegetable garden, a coop full of happy chickens, or maybe a buzzing hive for fresh honey? Don't be afraid to dream big, but be realistic about what you can handle, especially when you're first starting out. Now grab some paper and start sketching. Map out where you want your garden beds, chicken coop, or beehive to go. Think about walkways, seating areas. Make it your own little slice of paradise. A good tip here is to think about sunlight. Most vegetables need at least 6 hours of direct sunlight a day, so make sure you're placing your garden in a spot that gets plenty of sunshine. And if you're planning on having chickens or other animals, think about where you'll put their shelter and how much space they'll need to roam. The most important thing is to create a space that works for you and your family. Local gardening clubs and online forums are great places to get advice and connect with other mini farmers. The planning stage is all about setting yourself up for success, so take your time, do your research, and create a plan that you're excited about. Now that you've got your plan, it's time to get our hands dirty, literally. The soil is the foundation of your mini farm, so we want to make sure it's healthy and ready to nourish all of those amazing plants you're going to grow. Think of your soil like you would the foundation of a house. If it's not strong and healthy, nothing you build on top of it will last. Start by getting to know your soil. You can buy a simple soil testing kit online or at your local garden center. This will tell you the pH level of your soil, as well as the levels of essential nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Adding compost is like giving your soil a big dose of vitamins. It's full of beneficial microorganisms that help break down organic matter and make nutrients more available to your plants. You can also add aged manure, leaf mold, or other organic matter to improve soil structure and fertility. Adding organic matter will help improve drainage in clay soil and increase water retention in sandy soil. Worms are a gardener's best friend. They're a sign of healthy soil, and they do an amazing job of aerating the soil and adding nutrients. Healthy soil leads to healthy plants, which leads to a bountiful harvest. And who doesn't love the feeling of growing their own food in nutrient-rich soil? Now, let's talk about where we're actually going to plant all these amazing fruits, veggies, and herbs. Whether you've got a big backyard or a small patio, raised beds and containers are a fantastic way to create a productive and manageable mini farm. Raised beds are like giving your plants a VIP lounge. They improve drainage, prevent soil compaction, and make gardening a little easier on your back since you won't be bending over as much. You can build your own raised beds using wood, stone, or even recycled materials. Or, if you're short on time or prefer a quicker solution, you can buy pre-made kits online or at your local garden center. Containers are another great option, especially if you're working with limited space. You can grow almost anything in containers, from herbs and vegetables to dwarf fruit trees. Plus, they're super versatile. You can move them around to follow the sun or create different looks in your mini farm. One of my favorite things about containers is that you can get really creative with them. Repurpose old barrels, buckets, or even vintage bathtubs into unique and charming planters. Just make sure they have drainage holes so your plants don't get waterlogged. If you're short on space, try vertical gardening. Use trellises, stakes, or hanging planters to grow vining plants like tomatoes, cucumbers, and beans upwards. Whether you choose raised beds, containers, or a combination of both, remember to fill them with high-quality potting mix. Creating a mini farm is all about working with what you've got and making the most of your space. Now let's talk about adding some animal friends to your mini farm. There's something truly special about raising your own livestock. It's a rewarding experience that connects you to your food in a whole new way. Chickens are a great place to start. They're relatively low maintenance, and who doesn't love fresh eggs every morning? Plus, their manure is fantastic fertilizer for your garden. Before you welcome any feathered friends into your life though, check your local ordinances to make sure it's allowed in your area. You'll also need to build or buy a coop that provides them with shelter from the elements and protection from predators. If you're looking for something a little smaller, rabbits are another great option. They're quiet, gentle creatures that are perfect for families with children. Plus, they reproduce quickly, so you'll have plenty of fertilizer for your garden. And for the pollination enthusiasts out there, consider adding a beehive to your mini farm. Bees are essential for a healthy ecosystem, and they produce delicious honey as a sweet bonus. Just be sure to do your research and find a local beekeeping association to guide you through the process. Remember, adding livestock to your mini farm is a big responsibility, but the rewards are immeasurable. Creating a mini farm isn't just about growing food. It's about living a more sustainable lifestyle and reducing our impact on the environment. And two of the best ways to do that are by harvesting rainwater and composting our food scraps. Think of rainwater as liquid gold for your garden. It's naturally soft and free of chlorine and other chemicals that can be found in tap water. Plus, it's free. All you need is a rain barrel or two strategically placed under your downspouts. You can find rain barrels at most garden centers, or you can get creative and repurpose an old trash can or whiskey barrel. Just make sure it's clean and watertight. Then sit back and let Mother Nature do the watering for you. Now let's talk about compost. Instead of sending your food scraps and yard waste to the landfill, why not turn them into nutrient-rich compost for your garden? It's like magic. You're literally turning trash into treasure. Composting is easier than you might think. All you need is a compost bin or tumbler, which you can buy or build yourself. Then, start adding your kitchen scraps like fruit and vegetable peels, coffee grounds, and eggshells. Over time, these materials will decompose into a dark, crumbly substance that's teeming with beneficial microorganisms. By harvesting rainwater and composting, you're not only reducing your environmental footprint, but also saving money on your water bill and fertilizer costs. Now let's talk about what we're actually going to grow on our mini farm. And my philosophy here is, the more variety, the better. Just like we aim for a diverse and balanced diet, our gardens thrive on diversity too. Think about it. A garden bursting with different colors, textures, and flavors is not only visually appealing but also more resilient to pests and diseases. Start by choosing a mix of vegetables, fruits, and herbs that you love to eat. Tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers, zucchini, beans, lettuce. The possibilities are endless. Don't be afraid to experiment with different varieties too. Heirloom tomatoes, for example, come in all shapes, sizes, and colors, each with its own unique flavor profile. If you have the space, consider planting some fruit trees or berry bushes. Imagine stepping out your back door and picking fresh apples, berries, or peaches right from your own trees. It doesn't get much better than that. And don't forget about herbs. They're not only delicious in cooking, but also attract beneficial insects to your garden. Basil, oregano, thyme, rosemary, these aromatic herbs will make your mini farm smell as good as it looks. Practice companion planting. Certain plants grow well together and can even help deter pests. For example, planting basil next to your tomatoes can help repel tomato hornworms. The most important thing is to have fun and enjoy the process of watching your mini farm come to life. Well, we've covered a lot of ground, haven't we? From planning our space to planting our seeds and welcoming livestock, creating a mini farm is a labor of love. The key to success in mini farming, or any kind of farming for that matter, is consistency. Just like we strive for a consistent sleep schedule or exercise routine, our plants and animals thrive on routine too. Set aside some time each day to tend to your mini farm. Water your plants, check for pests, collect eggs from your chickens, or simply spend a few moments observing and appreciating the fruits of your labor. Remember, gardening is a learning process. Some years will be more successful than others. You might encounter pests, diseases, or unexpected weather patterns, but that's all part of the journey. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, learn from them, and adapt your methods along the way. One of the most rewarding aspects of creating a mini farm is the sense of community it fosters. Share your bounty with friends, family, and neighbors. Remember, creating a mini farm is about more than just growing food. It's about cultivating a connection to the land, fostering a sense of community, and living a more sustainable and fulfilling lifestyle. Turning your backyard into a mini farm isn't just about growing food, it's about creating a sustainable and rewarding lifestyle. From planning your space to nurturing plants and animals, each step brings you closer to a self-sufficient haven. Imagine stepping outside to a backyard brimming with life, color, and the sweet smells of herbs and flowers. Picture yourself gathering fresh eggs for breakfast or harvesting vegetables for a delicious home-cooked meal. What's stopping you from starting your mini farm today? Share your ideas in the comments and stay tuned to Global Fact Trends for more tips on urban farming and sustainability.